Okay guys, just a quick update on where I is. Remember I cut all those little blocks, tapping pads and whatnot, weld plates. Okay, so I'm gonna drill a few of them out and then I'll have a little chat. After I clean it off, my gloves. Got them. So, here we go. So I got my little trusty can of oil right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's okay. So I transferred these holes from the original one. I used a transfer punch. What I did is I'll show you. So I already had one drilled out. Sorry about the movement, guys, but I got my transfer punch right here. Now these holes have to be exact, right? Lining up with each other. So I did an original one, marked it with a pencil, because of course I lost my other pencil. So 2 inches apart. The holes are 2 inches apart. So these holes are already drilled. I lay them out against the plate here, clamp it like Jeb. Now it's clamped. Then I take my transfer punch over here. I set the transfer punch in the hole here. And this transfer punch got a point right in the middle. So what it does is it slides in. You smack this in with a hammer and it leaves a slight impression onto your plate. With that impression in place, you take another punch, a heavy punch, and you knock the beep out of it so you get these things to look like this. And they're the exact same spacing as the original. Follow me? Are you following me? Alright, so to make things easy for me, I have a clamp right here, so it's pretty close, and then I clamp it just loosely. As I'm spinning it, it'll find its own center, then you clamp it. Oh! Add a little slider material in there, then start drilling. I know the drill bit is a little bent, a little bit more Earl. So what the oil does, it puts a slight barrier between the cutting edge of the drill bit and the steel that it's cutting, thus reducing the friction. Friction is bad. Friction produces heat. Heat is bad. So it reduces the friction, plus it cools the bit. Nice thing is this steel is quite a big countersink, so it takes up a lot of the heat. Yeah, the oil. Always remember it takes heat to burn oil. So if you force this thing to burn, that means it's taking heat from someplace, and it's taking the heat from the friction. That was weird. But anyway, what happens, the oil keeps things cool. So that's what I was going to say. So for the oil to burn, it takes heat. And the heat comes from the drill bit and the steel itself. But where is the origin for the heat is at the right where the cutting tool edge, the edge of the cutting tool and the steel meet, and that's where the heat is generated. And the oil will take that heat away as it's burning, because again, it takes heat to burn the oil. You can see the smoke. Just believe me, and you should know that now because I just told you. So this is all I'm going to do, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. So these two holes are exactly the same distance apart, and of course same size. So what I'll do is I'll drill this one to the proper size for tapping, 3/8. And then this one will be the clearance for the 3/8. Either 3/8 or 5/8. 3/8 or 5/16. I'm not sure which size, so we'll see. It's not going to matter. It really needs to be, if this is a 1/2 inch, the screw can only be the longest the thread hole's got to be. It's going to be a little different, convoluted. If you have a 3/8 inch hole screw, you got to have 1 times half of that. So 1.5, I believe it is, times 3/8. That's how deep your threads are supposed to be. So if it's 5/16, it's take 5/16 times 1.5, and that's your proper size. So if I go 3/8, I got to use a 5/16 drill. If I go 5/16, 18, I got to use a 17/64 drill. So I'm probably leaning now towards a 5/16 hole or tap screw. Why? I'm not using this car for any labor-intensive thing. This is going to be a race car. I'm going to drag it at mid-Michigan. Where is that? I don't know, a little bit north of Lansing. But I met a guy, an owner of a muffler man, and I'm chatting with him, and he gives me, free of charge, he gives me a piece of exhaust pipe the size I needed. So I just needed like 8 inches of it, and he gave me like almost 3 feet. Free! Took that, chopped it up, and then used them as nipples to hold the muffler to the end pipe. The end pipe goes down a little bit, so I put that in between those two, a coupler, and then welded it on there. Anyway, so that's the dealio, and that's what these things are for, to hold that muffler in place. So anyway, that's where I'm at, guys. Again, the weather looks really good. It was promised to be overcast, and guess what? It is overcast like crazy, man. Let's just see what I got. Weather-wise, it's 61 degrees and cloudy, overcast. We'll have a high of, see, it changes all the time. So the high is 61 degrees. Oh no, I'm sorry, 63. So 64. So we'll hit, at 6 o'clock we'll hit 64. I can feel it starting to warm up a little bit. It's 63 now, so it'll be a high of 64, my bad. Sun goes down at 8 p.m. and it'll start dropping at 8, it'll be 61, then 57 the rest of the evening to 52 at 7 in the morning. Ta-da! 62. Or 52, how about that? I'm getting tongue-tied. All right. Oh, I also found some old weed killer. Ay, what's the name of it? We all know what the name brand is. It's Roundup. Roundup. I was going to look at the bottle. I threw the empty bottle in the garbage. So I've been spraying all these weeds coming through here. Then you can see green popping up. They all just gotta die, as Oprah Winfrey says about white people. They all just need to die. So, that's where we're at, people. Any questions, you can call Ern Rotman. I think he's the green thumb. One of the green thumbs. So Ernie, got a brother named Rick Rotman, who's one of his daughters married a nephew of mine. I think it's Brian. Haaf. Let's see, I worked with those guys at Autobahn, building machines. What else went down? Dave Voss is fully retired now, and he says if he can't ride his motorcycles anymore, he's going to get rid of them. No. So I'm saying, get that flathead running and make that into a trike if you run into that kind of problem. If not, sell it to me. I'll buy your flathead. It's a Frankenstein, which is kind of cool. It's got parts from several different years and also homemade stuff, like he built the Springer forks himself from scratch and stuff like that. I just really like that idea. All right, let me wrap up my weld pad build. What time is it? It's 2:30 already. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, see you guys. Bye.